Would you like to introduce these two players, Jurisa?
Most certainly, with pleasure, Maddles. We have spawning over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map as the teal Terran player. We have none other than Western Wolves' newest sighting. It is Morrow. He's going to be playing, after talking to Coach Johan, he's got some tips for playing against the red Protoss player in the top right-hand corner of the map, representing FX Open EU. Can he close it out? He's gone from 4-1 back to 4-3. He needs one more map. It is BabyKnight.
Now, I don't know how long these coaching tips have been coming in from Morrow, but we have seen an incredible turnaround in this matchup. From the very start, it seemed like BabyKnight, he was just gonna steamroll. And then Morrow, he just came back with that mech play, just as you said, Jurisa, in your infinite wisdom. That is what he needed for his confidence boost. He needed that to say, hey, I can beat BabyKnight in a straight-up game. And since that point, Morrow has just been this machine. He's even been showboating with those Widow Mines and those late running back Marines and Marauders. My goodness, he's added a lot of fun. And I am seriously hoping this goes to Game 9, because this has just been an incredible evening of Heart of the Swarm action. And I hope all the viewers have been enjoying it. I really... Make sure you check it out. We've got more coming up. So, in terms of what we should be seeing from these two, to talk a little bit about the game, which we probably should, we've got the 1 gas, 1 gate out of BabyKnight. Meanwhile, we've got the 1 Rax out of Morrow. It is at the top of his ramp, so no mind games going on yet. Is it going to be? There's the gas there as well, so it could be Reapers. Reaper openings would be quite nice on this map. Obviously, there's a big cliff area you could utilize with that, but BabyKnight is getting the complete scout off. So he knows about the gas, and that's such critical early information. Meanwhile, though, if we go up to see what BabyKnight's doing, he's getting the Cybercore, so he's not going for a super early Nexus. Getting the Cybercore out first after seeing the gas is the correct thing to do, and everything is looking pretty standard. There's the Reaper, as I thought we would get. So now it's just up to how much will Morrow commit to this, because of course we saw previously on Star Station he committed very heavily to Reapers and it just didn't work out. So I'm hoping he makes a slight adjustment to his build, gets maybe 4 or 8 out, perhaps off of 2 racks, 4 to 6 rather, out off of 2 racks, and then transitions out of it. And I think that would be a really solid play.
Yeah, it could. I mean, in this kind of position, it's really tricky. Morrow has just come back from being 4-1 down, where the only game he won was through a proxy racks, and he's gone now and beaten BabyKnight at 2 macro games in a row. This shouldn't be underestimated. Morrow has got his confidence back now, and what he needs to do...
He's building a bunker.
I know, he needs to not be overconfident right now, and I feel like he's being very aggressive, and yes, that could pay dividends, but he needs to recognize that he's on a good streak right now, and overextending himself is something that's quite easy to do.
Now, this bunker, the Reaper bunker plate, is very good. He's also poking up into the main base with one of those Reapers already, microing away against those probes. It's exactly what he needs to be doing. That is a hero Reaper right now. Just keep on microing, Morrow. You've got this micro all the way home. The SCV gets taken out by the Stalker. That means the bunker no longer is going to be able to stay up indefinitely. So, yeah, as we can see now, the Mothership Core has got out this time for BabyKnight. That means that he's got the better defense. He should be able to clear out this bunker. Now, there are only 2 Marines in it, but a little bit of damage has been done. 6 workers have been killed, and what I'm loving is Morrow is no longer producing any more Reapers. He just got the 1 out, and I think that was perfect. He's adjusted. He saw the advantage he had when he went for Reapers previously, saw the problem where he overcommitted, and therefore has adjusted and transitioning out very nicely indeed, getting up his own natural base.
Oh wow, taking the Marines out of the bunker just long enough to kill that poor unsuspecting probe, poor little guy, and the bunker is about to get taken out. The Marines are put on suicide watch as they run the heck out of the Protoss base there, and this time around, you see BabyKnight switching it up just a little bit, going for that earlier Mothership Core, unlike we've seen him do in the last couple of games, but he did lose those tomorrow, so he's trying a little bit of a different tack. Are we potentially going to see him do something like a Twilight Council like we saw from him last time, or is he going to do something else this game, I wonder?
Well, he's already got the Nexus down, so he's not committed to any sort of one-base play yet. The SCV does get in. It does see both of the gas. That's really important. And back at home, Morrow does have some Stalkers in the Mothership Core there, but his bunker is going to be able to complete but only one Marine in there at the moment. That's quite problematic for him, actually, because he doesn't have many SCVs to pull back to come and repair this. He's trying to focus down the mothership core at the moment. And is it going to go? It's going to be close to 5. No, it does die. So, my goodness, that is a big loss for BabyKnight. Mothership cores are not cheap in the slightest. And, of course, Morrow is also building Widow Mines, which we've seen him have a lot of success with.
Yes, very, very useful with those, especially in this situation where those 2 Stalkers, just a couple of units, are really giving him a lot of grief. There's 9 hit points on that second Stalker as well, and Morrow really needs to get them out of his base as quickly as humanly possible. 38 out of 38 supply as well, and Morrow is supply blocked. He needs to start a supply depot, but he's too busy microing, trying to get these units out of his base. He's really struggling on a number of fronts at the moment, but he does successfully repel the attack for now. But he's been on 38 supply so long, Maddles. It must have been at least an in-game minute now.
It has been a long time indeed, and you can't at this level have that long of a supply block. The Widow Mine is sitting there waiting. It's not burrowed, though. I really hope Morrow realizes this and burrows it up soon, because he's going to need it to defend this aggression that is on its way. There are those 3 gates, which are warping in continually, and of course the Widow Mine not burrowed up. That is a problem. It is trying to burrow it out. Will it get down in time? It does just. Lucky Widow Mine. Force fields are good, though, preventing these units getting back. The Marauder is going to go down. And, of course, this is now, again, a tough position for the Terran.
Yeah, he's got 4 SCVs ready to repair that bunker. But BabyKnight now knows as long as he attacks from towards the 3rd base location, the Widow Mine might not give him too much grief, and it's on cooldown anyway. He's going to be moving forward with the attack now. SCV's getting targeted down. A couple Marauders here trying to help with the fray. A second Widow Mine getting burrowed, and that's going to help Morrow oh so much. BabyKnight is in a good position, but Morrow is looking more and more like he should be able to defend.
Now, I don't know if you saw that, BabyKnight actually moving up towards that Widow Mine and takes a lot of damage, and you can see that it's not just the direct damage that's the problem, it's the amount of splash it does. Quite a few of those Stalkers getting very low on health. Of course, Morrow is getting in a stronger and stronger position the longer this goes on. He's able to resupply very effectively because there's only 3 gates for BabyKnight. He is busy trying to get Blink out, but until that point, obviously, we're seeing a very, very happy Terran. He's producing comfortably out of a lot of production facilities. BabyKnight is just pretty much sitting there with a lot of Stalkers, so he's got to be tough. And there we see a Stalker get taken down by that Widow Mine, literally being the bane of BabyKnight's life right now. And BabyKnight, I love this play. He's going for a Zealot drop with that War Prism, and this is something that Morrow is not prepared for in the slightest, Jorasar.
Oh, he actually saw just for a second it pop out, but he's got a drop coming in the main base of BabyKnight as well at the same time. The War Prism depositing a couple of Zealots. We have a huge engagement here at the natural expansion of Morrow, but BabyKnight unable to push through. In the meantime, the drop in BabyKnight's main base doing so much damage as well. All of the probes moving down to the natural expansion. 23 probes killed by Morrow so far. He takes a supply lead 67 to 63, but the bunker isn't going down. BabyKnight still trying to push into the natural expansion with that force there. He's not going to be able to do it. The Zealots, though, in the main mineral line are wreaking havoc. Morrow has not realized this yet. These SCVs are just completely melting at the moment. Morrow has lost almost as many SCVs as BabyKnight. He spent so unbelievably long not reacting to them at all, and now Morrow has a Widow Mine in the natural expansion of BabyKnight. Everything just happened at once.
Indeed, there is an Observer getting chrono boosted out. It will finish before the cooldown on that Widow Mine is complete, so it's not going to get too much more use, but this drop still coming down, yet again trying to do some more damage. But as we said, for anyone who didn't notice it, the amount of damage the Zealot drop into the main for Morrow did was huge.
The Observer doesn't see the Widow Mine, and oh dear, there go another probe.
Another 3 probes. Widow Mines are hardcore. They're just like all the probes are dying, all of them. And of course,
wow, and Probe's gonna pay taking it out. You kill one of us, we're gonna kill you back. That's hardcore, man. Indiscriminate justice. We have another attack going on at the natural expansion of Morrow. BabyKnight with his Stalkers unable to make quite the impression this time around. Stimming forward is Morrow, but no medevacs in tow this time around. There's one at the natural, but he hasn't got that on follow with the army, and Morrow has to pull back for now. He hasn't remade the bunker in his natural, though, and he needs to be careful because BabyKnight's unit comp is starting to get more powerful, but he needs to wait a while before engaging. He keeps losing a couple of Stalkers and 1 or 2 sentries, and that is not good news for him.
Indeed it is, and those force fields were very defensive there, trying to hold Morrow back for the time being. And of course, as the medevac count gets higher, or once he starts producing out that reactor, it'll be good, but the medevac gets sniped off. That was a good little hit there. And of course, now Morrow has to be very conservative, with his stims, otherwise his army is going to get very low on health very fast. A couple of sentries are going to get picked off here, and of course, as we can see, a couple of SCVs coming as well, just to soak up the damage. Another stim from Morrow, picking off the forward pylon, and that should be the end of this aggression for the time being. But behind it, BabyKnight has taken his third base, Jorasar, and that means his economy is looking very nice.
Oh, and here we go. I was about to say that second stim from Morrow looked very, very dicey considering the medevac got sniped off. Look at the health bars on these units. Morrow chasing the stalkers with that second stim. So many of those units are literally several hit points away from dying right now. And Morrow needs to be so careful not to overcommit. As long as he gets a couple of medevacs out to heal this army up, he'll be fine. But BabyKnight is not relenting at the moment. He wants to try and pick off as much of this as possible. Unfortunately, with pure stalkers, I don't think he can do that. With 5 or 6 zealots in this army composition, on the other hand, that would be absolute slaughter right now. But as it currently stands, it's very, very close. And with the medevacs now out, I think Morrow should be able to hold this fight.
I completely agree. The additional stims, maybe just over-stimming. Of course, if you don't have medevac support, you have to be so careful. The Widow Mine, is it going to get another shot off? It does, and kills the Stalker. That Widow Mine, just to point out, has 6 kills. That has got to be the most cost-effective Widow Mine ever. And as we can see, Morrow is pushing back the rest of these Stalkers now. With the medevac support, he's in a much more comfortable spot. He's still producing nicely. He's got his 3rd orbital command up. Behind this BabyKnight, only now just getting out Storm. It is half done, but of course there is that dicey little point where actually a Terran player can be very dangerous. Morrow hasn't been arguably great at dealing with storms so far, so I agree with that from BabyKnight at the moment. But what's he going to do? He picks off the Observer. Jorasar, with them now both on equal bases, with the worker count pretty much the same. This is a very close game.
It really is, and I can really understand where BabyKnight was coming from with those stalkers as well. We saw Morrow overstimming with his bio army there, and BabyKnight trying to constantly poke and prod in with the stalkers to pick off as many units as he could. Unfortunately, he didn't have the Zealot meat shield at the front to do the damage he required, so even though it was very back and forth, Morrow was just about able to hold that off, and now, as a result, BabyKnight is forced back into his own half of the map, and he did spend a lot of his time trying to pick apart that army without any great success. But on the plus side, he had 3 bases mining throughout most of that engagement. He's down a little bit in supply right now, but he has some High Templar out. He needs to try and use them to good effect. I think he does have Storm researched at the moment. He just needs a bit more energy, and here comes the attack from Morrow at the 3rd.
And now Morrow needs to split very well. He needs to get out of those storms to minimize the damage they do. Of course, we do have a good medevac count, but those storms are doing an awful lot of damage. And as we can see, trying to split them out, trying to make sure that they don't take huge splash. But for the moment, BabyKnight is going to force this back. Being used on the medevacs, but a good blink from BabyKnight manages to snipe one off. So, Morrow does need to continue his retreat, in my opinion, because those Templar do have enough energy for Storm, but he's not going back. He's just going to try and engage, and of course we see some good Storms going down here. Morrow is going to lose nearly everything here now, Jorasar.
Oh, it's the medevacs that really hurt. He cannot afford to be losing all of these, and it looks like he might actually stimming to run away at the moment, and with the medevacs going down, that just means the army is easier to kill off. BabyKnight now ahead 118 to 106 supply. Morrow losing so much in that engagement, and BabyKnight now has a fast track ticket to Morrow's 3rd, and quite honestly, I don't think Morrow has enough to defend this at all.
I know, if he just carried on running, he would have...
The High Templar!
The High Templar, I'm just watching now, they're morphing into Archons, but they are going to get taken down. Now leave just Gateway units, everyone. And that means that, hey, Marine Marauder Medevac does deal well with Gateway units, but the third base is getting absolutely ransacked. It is probably going to go down to that many Stalkers, so this is very, very tough. But Morrow, he's coming in from all angles. Does he have enough, Jorasar?
I don't think he does, because we have reinforcement Stalkers plus a couple of Zealots moving in. He does manage to save the 3rd base, does Morrow, but he still has to lift it back up into his main. A decent number of SCVs were killed trying to repair that as well. BabyKnight on 47 workers killed compared to 36 for Morrow in this game. He is pushing into the natural now. He has a 9 worker lead. Morrow is pulling all of his SCVs. This could be it. BabyKnight looking in good position to take this game right now. The Zealots being surrounded by SCVs, but so many Stalkers remain. Can Morrow hold on?
And BabyKnight is blink microing for his life. He is doing the utmost he can. There's an Immortal about to join this army that will massively help clear out these remaining Marauders. And I think with that, there is going to be very little Morrow can do. He does have one more wave of units coming in. He does have a few more SCVs he can pull, but as we can see, that Immortal is just racking up the damage. It's getting focused down though by Morrow at the moment, but there are so few units on the field. Every reinforcing unit for the Terran right now matters, but with this next warp in, I think we're going to see a GG.
I think so. BabyKnight now have 100 supply to 66. Morrow has played a fantastic series, came back from the brink, 4-1 down to give the Terran player here hope. But unfortunately, BabyKnight just proving too strong here in game number 8 of a potential 9. It looks like he is going to be closing out the series 5-3, up about 40 supply at the moment. Morrow stimming forward with a few more Marauders, but the Blink Micro from BabyKnight minimizing the amount of damage he's taken there. And even though he'll have to move back for now, an additional warp in will mean he'll be able to move forward with sheer firepower and win this in the numbers game alone.
Credit where credit's due though, Morrow is using some great pickup and drop micro with those Medoacs, trying to get the utmost out of each and every unit he has, and both of these two players are playing incredibly fast, microing for the title, and of course Morrow has everything to play for. He's trying to float that orbital down, he's going for the engagement, he does have quite a lot of SCVs there. BabyKnight blinking back as fast as he can. Of course there are now 3 Medovacs. The Immortal gets focus fired, a couple of Zealots are trying to come in, but BabyKnight is falling back, waiting for more reinforcements, and Morrow, he's at half the supply, but my goodness, he is not giving up yet.
No, he is doing so much with so little right now. Look at the number of mules coming into the third base, but BabyKnight is coming in for wave number 3. He is not waiting, and he picks off the orbital command. That is huge. GG! Both players with average APMs over 300 at the end there. Incredible micro from both sides, but BabyKnight manages to close it out at the third attempt, and he wins this showmatch series 5-3.